What's up, Tokos? It's Trent, aka TradeMark here. And this morning I played in the 6v6 YouTuber Showdown, and it was a fun experience. Um, because it was in the morning and I just woke up and hopped right onto the Xbox and started playing, I completely spaced out and forgot to record my matches locally, and so I don't have any of them. And the games were all in private matches, and the people didn't have it set to record in theater mode, so I can't get those gameplays. But it was a lot of fun. We ended up only playing one team because of a miscommunication on how the event was going to work. But basically, we played Benny Central's team. The first map we played Hardpoint on Raid, and we won that. And I played pretty well there. And then the second map was Hardpoint on Slums, and that was a rough game because that was on Quicker Than You's host, who I believe is in Scotland, and so we were all two barring. It was a pretty bad connection, and then, but I won't blame it purely on the connection. We still could have won it, and we didn't play we didn't play as well as we could have. And then finally, the last game was Domination on Meltdown, and the enemy team just played better than us that game. And there was a little controversy because Benny Central used Hardline. He used a perk to get a VSAT, and Hardline wasn't allowed, and he died right after he got the VSAT. So he wouldn't have gotten that without Hardline, and it was set in the rules that you couldn't use Hardline. But I mean, still, they played really well, and they're a really solid team. All four teams were actually really strong teams, and I would have liked to play all of them because I think it would have been fun to play a lot more players than we played. But yeah, me personally, I didn't play my best. Definitely, I didn't play very well because I haven't played Black Ops 2 for, like, in the past 5 months. I would say I've played 3 or 4 times. I've played when each of the map packs came out, but other than that, I don't play this game anymore. And I decided after the game, because I didn't play well, that I was going to go play some pub matches with some friends and some subscribers. And this was the third game. So the first 2 games that we got into, the host dashboarded on us. The very first 2 games that I started playing. And this is the third game that you're seeing. And I didn't upload this third game because I think that it's some amazing upload, or because it is a flawless nuclear, but I didn't upload it because I'm necessarily proud of the gameplay. The reason why I'm uploading this is because if you watch the disconnect screen, the leave players left game, and the players joining game in the bottom left, I just did a rough count, but I think we played against 33 different players in this game. It's a 6v6 match, and we played against 33 different players. I mean, that's nearly 6 full teams of, it's a little over 5 full teams of players that we played against. It's ridiculous to think that, like, this is what Call of Duty has turned into. And just it seemed like every single game that I played today just reminded me why I stopped playing this game. Because, first of all, like, host dashboarding, that shouldn't even be a factor. If Activision would just spend a minuscule amount of their billions on dedicated servers, you would never have dashboarders ever again. And you would also have a more consistent connection over time. It wouldn't be perfect. Obviously, there's still lag, there's still issues that are going to arise, but you would have a more consistent connection game to game than using person-to-person hosting. And I mean, that could be fixed with dedicated servers. Things like players leaving, this is literally what Call of Duty has turned into. We reward people for dashboarding. Like, they get better statistics for dashboarding. And you have stats in your normal games. I don't even think there should be stats in normal games so that people don't dashboard purely to save their stats. And, like, it's just really irritating that 33 people came in and went in this game. And I'm not blaming the people that came in halfway through the game. No one likes getting thrown into a game that's half over and the enemy team has VSATs and dogs and swarms. Everyone hates that. I don't think there's a single player, except for maybe people that like to, masochistic people that maybe like to suffer, put themselves through pain. There's not a single person out there that likes being thrown into a game where they're getting their ass kicked. And so, in my opinion, there should be no way that you get thrown into a game that's in progress, unless it's like the first 30 seconds of a game, because more than not, you get thrown on the enemy, on the team that's losing, and a lot of times you're thrown into a team that's just getting crushed, and it's no fun to sit there and play against. You get thrown into a game where you're just getting annihilated. It's just not fun. So I think that shouldn't happen. But I also think that in order to fix the problem with dashboarders and levers, there needs to be a quit penalty. And I play League of Legends pretty much whenever I have free time. Lately I've played League of Legends. And I'm not going to talk specifically about the game, but I think the Riot Games, the company that made the game, has made so many correct decisions in how they present their game, in the way that they handle just the entire scene and competitive play and just normal play as well. Because if you quit a game in League of Legends, you can't join another game. You have to reconnect to that game. So that's the quit penalty. Like, you can only play in that game. And I think that's how it should be for Call of Duty as well. If you want to quit a game, go for it. But you can't join another game. That's your quit penalty. You have to sit out until that game would have been over. And even back, I think it was Halo, or I know there's games before that, the more that you quit, the higher of a period of time that you have to sit out before you play another game. That's a possibility as a quit penalty. And a lot of people, I've talked about this before shortly, and people have told me, well, I don't want a quit penalty because I hate getting thrown as a solo person, getting thrown into a team and going against a group of 6. And I agree, that's not fair. It's not fair to have 6 bad solo players get matched up against a really solid team of 6 that communicates and plays really well together. That's not fair matchmaking, but that has to do with the matchmaking. That's before the game starts. The matchmaking should be set up in a manner that either connects parties to parties or players of similar skill level together. But whatever the behind the scenes work is, it needs to happen before the game starts, so that all of the matchmaking, all of the things that handle who should be playing against who should take place before the game even starts. And then once the game does start, well, then you have a quit penalty, or you can't leave unless you want to sit out the rest of the game. And I also think there should be like a forfeit option. I think that's retarded, like in league play, that a whole bunch of people can quit, but that last player, like if you're playing a game in league play and it's 1 versus 4, no one wants to play 1 versus 4. So there should be an option if one or let's say 2 of your players or multiple of your players quit or disconnect from your game, you should have the option of just forfeiting, because no one wants to stick around and get their ass beat. It's like it just seems like such simple. There could be so many implementations to this game that would just make it drastically better, that don't even relate to the gameplay, that have nothing to do with the game itself other than how it's set up, who plays who, and how the connections work and how servers work and how matchmaking work. There's so much that could be done that doesn't have anything to do with the gameplay. And I honestly think if Call of Duty wants to go to the next level, they're going to have to make these changes that are on a company-wide decision. Things like dedicated servers that are at, I don't know how high up the chain it needs to go to make that decision possible. Things like how matchmaking can be revamped. And I believe that I don't have the answers to everything, but I believe that I have a lot of good starting points and ideas on how they can make the game better. And that's why I'm going to be making videos on that in the future. And I'm not saying that they'll ever listen or that they'll ever even see my videos, but at least I'm doing my part in telling the developers what I want in order to have an enjoyable experience on Call of Duty, because I don't hate Call of Duty. In fact, I've played Call of Duty more than I've played any other video game franchise ever. I've played a lot of Call of Duty over the years, and I enjoy fast-paced first-person shooters, and I enjoy this game, but I feel like there's so much that can be done to make it better. So many things that seem like easy decisions to make, that seem like easy changes or fixes to make that aren't made. But anyways, guys, that's it for me. I just wanted to kind of get this off my chest because it was annoying to kind of come back and have my first 3 games just be such a painful reminder of kind of how bad this game has gotten. But that's it for me, guys. Molo Alpito, thanks for watching, and I'm out of here.